Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Today, a review of Nottingham Craft Beer Festival 2022. I am now on the Saturday night, so I went yesterday, the Friday night, first night of the beer festival. My gosh, it was a bit warm. 30 odd degrees, you know, fair play to the brewers and the staff. Did a fantastic job. So we first stopped off, we'd been on a trek of town, we'd done the amazing Kilpin Beer Caff, Junkyard, Angel Microbrewery, Keen's Head, went down to the Fox and Grapes, managed to get there for the Verdant takeover. Some good beers there, mind you. Great staff throughout, to be honest. Nottingham's craft beer breweries, and well, pubs rather. You know, they are a true credit. You go into the pubs, the beer's amazing. Yeah, it's more expensive than what you pay in standard pubs, but there's never no issues. There's people in there. You get random strangers talking about beer to you, and if you're a fan of beer, it's just what you want. So anyway, we walked round into the beer festival. Our mate, one of our mates, he got in because he works for a certain brewery anyway, so he was all good. But we walked round to the entrance. Says, "Are you early birds?" And they says, "No, not early birds." And it was about an hour before, to be honest. And yeah, we snagged our way in. I mean, as a beer reviewer, you know, I do not put myself at the front. I don't ever go around and say things like, "Do you know who I am?" Because to be honest, I don't, and it's an embarrassing thing to say anyway. Anyway, got in, snazzy glass. The artwork on the glass this year was exceptional. I think it was really good. The little eyes, when you go, so you got the beer in the eyes, brilliant. I've just done a review there, so ignore the review bit. Walks in. Security, as always, and the staff, they're all really polite. They're doing their job, you know. They're gonna look for your bags. It is what it is, you know. There's a job to be done, you know. We all work for a living, don't we? Well, most of us do, at least. Yeah, the snazzy glass, got a bruiser thing in there, got a badge off the bruiser fellow as well. Bruiser, you know, they do some, it's like an online thing where you can order beer. I did look into it last year, but I don't really order beer online simply because I want beer when I want it. I don't really want it bringing to me when I don't really want it. As simple as that. So, walks into the beer festival. Where are we going first? Well, the first area you see, on the right-hand side, you've got all the eateries. By gosh, you need eateries. If there was only one little thing I'd say, is that you probably could have done with maybe even a couple of more eateries. It's not a massive site, so I suppose it's that balance. The organiser's done a good job, you know. First place he walks into, Neon Raptor. I mean, they're the kings of Snenton Market. They've been there so many years now. They've got a beer reviewer as the landlord, basically the manager, and he's damn funny as well. And I absolutely love the guy. You know, he's absolute class. For those who know, his name's Craft Beer Basic. He's got his YouTube channel. Check him out. Please subscribe to him. He's a good bloke. He's a proper, for the craft beer scene in Nottingham, he's certainly a pillar of that scene. And he's funny as well. So he walks in there. First beer of the day, Tuckbot 2000. For me, the stellar beer of the year so far from Neon Raptor, if not one of the beers of the year. I would like to do a taste test of certain beers. Whether I can get them later in the year or not, there's another thing. I may have to start buying 2 beers. You know, when I get to a beer where it's an amazing beer, buy 2 of them. Obviously, sometimes, and they're 10 quid a beer. It's not cheap. But yeah, Imperial Walnut. At keg temperature, it's tasting amazing. At room temperature, oh, it's a stunner. And Mrs. Raggy liked it as well. So, you know, and that takes some doing because she's as fussy as they come. ladies, you know, they got a good choice, haven't they? So anyway, we'll walk around the beer festival. First port of call was Castle Rock Brewery. I had a bit of the Blue Monkey and Castle Rock pilot project. Good to see the pilot project being used. I myself would love to do a brew on that kit. It's a stunning bit of kit. I've seen the kit. It's an amazing kit. It's great to see it being used. I like the fact that Castle Rock now are more relevant in both craft beer and just to pour myself a bit more of this 11%. Apologies. I'll wet the whistle, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're so relevant these days. And the bar was amazing. You know, if you're going to come to a beer festival, and certainly if you're local, bring a bar with you that looks good. Presentation. I'm a gardener. I've got a beer wall behind me. Presentation's everything. The beers sell you, obviously, but presentation's key. So, went there. Obviously then, next port of call, the amazing, and I do mean amazing, the other end of bar. So this was Emperor's Brewery, Damien. Oh, he's such a class like that bloke is. He got all his big impies on the bar. He'd got whiskey and wort. So if you've ever followed his social media, you'll see that at the end of the brew, they do the whiskey and wort. So the wort is before it goes into fermentation, basically. So it's been boiled in the mash tun, it's gone through the copper, and then it's going into the fermentation tank. So before that, it's still warm. So then they'll put some whiskey in. I had Glenfiddich. There was a peaty one as well. And it was tasting amazing. There is a video, separate video on my channel, a live video. We were there about 10 o'clock last night, so we're all slightly abbreviated, and it's damn loud as well. But you get a gist of what the beer festival is about. If you can make it to Nottingham to this beer festival, it is amazing. It's very different to the Robin Hood Beer and Cider Festival. There, I wouldn't say it's for trendy people. What I would say is it's for people who like a good beer and who don't mind paying a bit more for it. Craft beer is not cheap. You know, it is what it is. But you're getting the best of the beer. You're getting beer that's absolutely amazing. That's not to say that cask beer is not also great, but you see what I mean. So, Emperor's Brewery. My good friends, Bang the Elephant. In fact, I'm friends with all of them, to be fair. So, but yeah, Bang the Elephant were there, and they smashed it. I mean, the bar itself was amazing. The whole setup, the location. Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. You brought these guys in last year at the last minute. I think that was because Wylam dropped out. And hey, oh, what happened again? Wylam dropped out. You know, do it a bit earlier next time, Wylam. Hey, people organise beer festivals. People buy tickets for beer festivals. Your name's there. Last minute, you drop out. Oh, we're not bothered. And I've got to say, kind of winds me up. Buxton also did the same. And yes, again, they did it to BeerCon, Beer Festival in Derby. And it's like, you know, we understand there's issues in this world. COVID's a great excuse for getting out of anything these days. But, you know, in some ways, bearing in mind there's lots of fans who may well think, I really like Buxton Brewery or Wylam Brewery's beers. So, yeah, it'd be good to go there, see their beers. What happens to pull out and it's like, oh, that's great. And don't commit if you don't want to be there. And that's me, you know, speaking directly to both the festival people and the breweries. You know, if you're not committing, don't be there. Put another brewery in who's going to commit, who's going to bring their A game. So, yeah, Bang the Elephant brought an amazing amount of beers. Sadly, I did not get to try Lumiere a year on. I tasted it last year before the August Beer Festival. Absolutely stunning. And I do mean stunning. I had it at the brewery, I've had it in can. It was my beer of the year. It's simply one of the best beers that came out this year by one of the best up and coming breweries in the country, without a bloody shadow of a doubt. I'll put that on record, and I damn well know people like Emperor's Brewery will tell you the same. People like, there's a bloke called Vince Lee in Nottingham. He's Nottingham camera, but he's a guy who goes around, he supports every single pub that's selling good beer throughout Nottingham. He's an absolute legend, a total legend. And yeah, ask any one of us, you'll know. And ask the people who drink their beer, you'll know. But yeah, a stunning array of beers from them. So we'll move on to Fire Rock Brewing. These guys from Sutton in Ashfield. Just wet the whistle. Oh, tasting amazing. Yes, Tartus, you need to get yourself over to Nottingham as well next year. Anyway, we won't go on there. So, these guys bought out collabs with Urban Chicken Ale. He's somebody else. We're along with Alter Ego Brewing that need to be at Nottingham Craft Beer Festival this year. They nearly made it this year. And again, if I was speaking directly to people who are in charge, the people who organise the beer festival, and please, if you ever, I would love to volunteer my time to help you all, you know, jump in and talk to breweries, to, you know, poke and prod breweries, to certainly, you know, G up breweries, and to certainly bring out the best of what we've got locally. And yeah, I personally think Alter Ego and Urban Chicken would be together on the bar, would be an amazing addition to this beer festival. But I like everything, you've got to give people time. You know, last minute's bit, it's not easy. And Bang the Elephant did extremely well this year. And again, they've done extremely well this year. Lumiere, Statement of Intent, the barrel aged sours they've got on, the Gosas, and the banana rum barrel aged. Whoa. So Black Lodge Brewery were there. I'll poke out the standout breweries. Obviously Cloudwater were there, Siren were there, North Brewing Company were there, Turning Point were there, Totally Brewed were there, Black Iris were there. In some ways, I actually, and I've got to be honest, I actually felt last year's event, even though some of them were disappointing. I mean, I've got to look at Northern Monk and say, you were really disappointed last year. You bought a few flipping beers, and yeah, it's for a mega brewery, and we are talking mega breweries, a little bit disappointing. And again, some of the breweries, it's like, why are you not bringing more beers? Is it a thing where someone's coming down in the car, they can only fit so much in? But then you look at the brewery and say, look how big your brewery is. You've got mega amounts of beer being brewed, and we know what these breweries do. You know, I'm not going to single out any one particular brewery. I'm not going to be an arse. But bring your beers, chock it full. The kegs aren't going to go out of date, so you can take the kegs back with you. Get your bloody staff a van to come down in. Help sort them out, you know, so that when they get to a beer festival, it's looking amazing. I thought Brew York, I don't know if the boss of Brew York was there, but there was a tallish bloke who looked quite official, and they had like TV screens, and it was looking bang on. Brew York, at the end where they were, they mirrored what Castle Rock did. Castle Rock had the bar, Brew York had the technology. I really liked that. Some of my local breweries, and I'm not going to point them out, but I was slightly disappointed with a couple of local breweries that, to me, didn't bring what they brought last year. Navigation Brewery, they had a lot of good beers on again, and you had their technical brewer there, Craig. And like, you know, got a question, who better to ask than the bloke who actually is responsible for the beers? Key Lime Pale Ale, that was stunning. I had the collab with Mardy Bum, that was lovely as well. Not everyone's a taste. I do think with beers and breweries that if you're good at a certain type of beer, brewing to your strengths, but also brewing other beers, and you know, growing your styles. Obviously, we are all good at certain things. I am a gardener. Amenity horticulture is what I've won awards, East Midland, Britain, and European awards. Excellence of horticulture, play to your strengths. That's where the tangent went there. Obviously, great seating. Lots of good music going off. It was a good night. You know, we got there, and I'll show you a picture. So, went with my good friends off the beer review community, and not that one, because we looked drunk on that one. And there we are. Me and my glasses. Jagman, Liam, Shane. These guys, two of the guys live in Kirkby and Ashfield. Northampton for Jagman. Came to Nottingham. We was in town from 11 o'clock. We left at 10:30, 11 time. About that time. Near 11. We was at 11 because we was round the corner waiting for a Uber. We had a best of times. We had fantastic beer all night. Chatting to brewers. Crummy Beard, another YouTube beer reviewer, was down there. I did a live walk around with Crummy on his Instagram channel. I did a live YouTube walk round, pointing out the breweries and shouting at them as well as I'm doing it. Because when I've had a drink, I don't really care. And when I've had a drink also, I'm good. I don't mind, you know, being a lot more vocal. Still respectful, still decent. No swearing. Yeah, I do swear now and again, obviously. But yeah, showing people around, not what Nottingham is. You know, this for me is that the premier event of the year, and just to show the rest of the country, you know, what we're about and what we can do. Are there improvements that can be made? There are always tweaks that can be made. For me, the area could be slightly bigger. Centre Market needs to just, what it needs to do for me is go the next row over. If that's possible in future, because I feel that you could have had more breweries there. And so if I'm talking to everybody watching this and the brewery community as a whole, what I would say, regardless anyway, we had an amazing time. Brewery of the year, yes, bar of the year, Castle Rock Brewery, bar of the year. Best bar for technology wise, Brew York. Best overall bar, by far, Bang the Elephant. For beers, the Bang the Elephant, Fire Rock, Emperor's Bar, Jesus Christ. Each one of them breweries could do a bar on their own, and quite easily, and do some massive trade. What I would have said to, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to the what can be done better, in my opinion. Beer of the festival, Fire Rock Brewing, Call of the Cthulhu, if that's how you pronounce it. That name, it's the worst name for a beer because I can't say it, but I think that's how you say it. So it's not the worst name, it's a cracking beer. Rocky Road Imperial Stout. It's got to be rebrewed. They've got to chuck it in get some bloody barrels and do a barrel aged version and a standard version, because that is an amazing beer. Call of Cthulhu has put Fire Rock Brewing Company on the national stage. Emperor's Brewery is known throughout the world, one of the best rated breweries in the world. Yeah, Bang the Elephant are already one of the best up and coming breweries, craft beer breweries in the country, without a shadow of a doubt. Check their beers out. Yeah, I've said this many times. Their ethos is exactly what I want to do. I want to be the best. I want to keep pushing. I never want to just lay on my laurels. I want to get better, better, better. Firework Brewing Company, based in Sutton Ashfield. Amazing bar, tap room, bottle shop. But their beers, collabs with Reckless Dweeb, Urban Chicken Ale. Urban Chicken Ale, I've already mentioned this bloke. Another of the country's best lone brewers. For anybody watching this from craft beer breweries around the country, these people, you need to be getting them on your collabs. Emperor's Brewery, already he's on everyone's collab list. Bang the Elephant, Firework, Urban Chicken, Reckless Dweeb, Alter Ego need to be on your list. Check those names out. There are a lot of us. We've got a good scene. So that's the beers of the year. Organisation was superb. The beers were superb. The old festival that they're covering today, they need it because it's chucking it down. I'm in my shed at the moment and it's only like, what is it, 5:30 or something daft. Yeah, 5:15. So yeah, let's move on. What could be done better? What could I, from a neutral, outside standpoint, say? Right. First and foremost, I think Firerock have shown that they could do a bar in there. They could do a job in there. Yeah. Bang the Elephant obviously already have. Emperor's Brewery. But Bang the Elephant, Firerock could definitely do a bar in there next year. They're brewing beer all the time. They're brewing into keg. So, you know, plenty of notice. And if anybody from Derby Beer Con's watching this, please take notice of what I'm saying. You know, I know the bosses of Neon Raptor. And yeah, I saw you yesterday, yeah. And I got your comment as well. But yeah, in a nice way. I know all the people looking after BeerCon. And, you know, Bang the Elephant, Firerock, Urban Chicken, they're on your Derby doorstep. Alter Ego, they also on your Derby doorstep. They need to be there, along as, you know, with the big breweries, obviously. But in any case, for Nottingham next year, I think Brew Cavern, having Brew Cavern, there was amazing on keg. Good to see his beers. I think from a local standpoint, I think from a national standpoint, you've got a load of great breweries. You know, getting the right breweries to come, getting the breweries that, you know, actually want to come and bring their A game. Obviously, Glasshouse and Lakes Brew Co came in last, did a good job, I thought, you know. My wife had a Glasshouse beer, she was well impressed with that. There's a couple of breweries that, I'm not going to point them out, it's rude, but I was a bit slightly disappointed with, but, you know, that's for them to, you know, look at themselves. You know, sometimes you'll have to look at yourself and see where you could have done better. Hey ho. Putting more effort in. Effort is key. Bringing big banners. I suppose in a lot of ways, the size of the marquees, all these things help. And obviously having forward planning to how big stores are, how big bars are. And I suppose that's what in the organisational things, that's something you'll do anyway. You'll know all that yourselves. What I would say to do is have myself is to contact early so that people can get ready. I would personally, hand on heart, say Firerock this year, the beer at the festival. That goes without saying. They need to be there. They need to have a store on their own, a bar on their own, with all their beers on. You give them the time. They can brew their keg beers. They can brew special beers. They'll do you a good job. And more importantly, a couple of fantastic, great guys who are family guys doing an amazing job. And they're only part-time brewers as well. Which the likes of Bang the Elephant and Emperors are as well, part-timers. Part-timers, eh? Stunning breweries, part-timers. I would also look at doing Alter Ego and Urban Chicken as well. And maybe even a nano bar, a local East Midlands nano bar with a lot of the nano breweries together. Give them the time to, you know, because even with the nano bars round us, we've got Linear, Sauce House, Red Dog. Red Dog's but always tied to Magpie, so probably you wouldn't. But you've also got Reckless Dweeb, Urban Chicken, Alter Ego. And you could have a bar that's predominantly Alter Ego, but with some more kegs on with these beers. So to make it like a nano bar with Alter Ego. Alter Ego are big enough to go on their own. Or just a nano bar with all of them. It's a seed. Trust me, you'd be surprised how good their beers are. Separate from that, and to be honest, the beer festival is a good beer festival. Trying to get different breweries maybe next year. What Castle Rock have done with their collabs and their tap takeovers recently is really interesting. Because for a big brewery, they're bringing the breweries to the city. Verdant, we're at Fox and Grapes. Track, we're at Keen's Head. Polly's, well, they backed out, didn't they? But also at Keen's Head. So there's that ability to contact early, bring these people in, say to them, look, you know, bring that A game, come on. I personally think that for the breweries that can't get, I mean, for me, Shiny Brewery, Pentridge are two good breweries as well that are pretty close, that could do a good job. I know you need national breweries to bring people in. I do get that. I do get that. So, next on the list for me is possibly having a couple of can stores on there. Now, I'm thinking we've got some good can shops now in Nottingham. We've got Adventure Beer that are doing a lot of the local stuff in cans. Now, obviously, if anybody's got any brewery there that's local, that's already there, you wouldn't want your cans selling at Adventure Beer for obvious reasons. But there are lots of other breweries that aren't there that they could sell their canned craft beer offerings, you know, and not jump on anybody's toes. That to me would be exceptional, because there's the chance of taking cans and bottles away. And I mean, that's something that breweries could talk to, like the likes of Adventure Beer, and say yes or no to having there. Because Adventure Beer could have a stockpile of like Black Iris and liquid like that they hadn't actually bought themselves. So there's an interesting thought process there. Kimberley Craft Ales could bring a lot more craft ales from further around the country. And again, that would be interesting to have like a bottle can section. So you pour it out there and then you walk away. You know, can goes in the bin, you're not walking around, there's no more litter. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? But on the whole, fantastic. There's just my couple of ideas. Please, I'm always contactable and I'm always willing to help the Nottingham beer community and promote Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. You know, I live in Nottingham. I am Nottingham, you know. Lived there all my life. Worked in the city centre most of my life at the Arboretum. So it means much to me. And I support each and every one of the local breweries. Some stunning breweries amongst them, obviously. And congratulations for organising another fantastic beer festival. And just my thoughts and my review and a few things that I'd love to see happen. And but obviously time is of the essence, because preparation, as you can imagine, is key. Brewing beers, getting things sorted, and making it slightly bigger next year. Hey, I think it could go bigger. I do. I think this year's proven it could. And that's it for this review. Thank you for everyone joining me tonight. And please comment, chat, like, subscribe if you can. I'm not going to go on about it, but yeah. Thank you for joining Raggy's Beer Reviews. And you will see me down there next year. Hopefully for both days. Second day sold out. And, well, these things happen, don't they? You know, it is what it is. Cheers all.